When the world sleeps, destinies are being written. The ones who rise at Fajr aren't just awake, they are chosen. Because some doors of Rizq only open before the sun. Fajr is not only a prayer, it is a mirror that reflects the true state of your heart. When the alarm goes off and your eyes resist the pull of light, that moment becomes a quiet test. Will you choose the softness of your bed or the softness of His mercy? It is in that silent battle between sleep and Salah that your soul's loyalty is revealed. The one who rises while the world is lost in dreams has already won a victory unseen by others, but celebrated by the angels. In those early hours, when the air is still and your thoughts are raw, the decision to stand before your Lord transforms something within you. You are no longer just obeying, you are surrendering. Each movement in prayer, each whisper of Alhamdulillah, is a declaration that your love for Allah outweighs your love for ease. That's why Fajr carries a weight far beyond its minutes. It reshapes your priorities. It purifies your will. The struggle to wake up is not a weakness. It is part of the worship. Allah sees every effort, every heavy eyelid, every stumble toward the prayer mat. And even if your voice trembles, even if your mind drifts, He knows you came. In a world where people rise for wealth, for deadlines, for desires, you rise for the one who gave you breath. That intention alone turns ordinary mornings into sacred beginnings. When you stand before Allah at Fajr, you are unseen by the world but fully seen by the Creator. The quiet darkness around you becomes a witness of your faith. It's not perfection He asks for, it's presence. That small act of rising, though it seems insignificant, writes your name among those who chose faith over comfort, purpose over pleasure, and light over laziness. And when you finish and the first light of dawn touches your face, you realize that the real awakening wasn't your body, it was your soul. You started your day by proving that your heart beats for something eternal. The rest of the world may just be opening its eyes, but you've already met the source of light, peace, and Rizq. Rizq is not only the food you eat or the money you earn. It is the peace that sits quietly in your heart, the clarity that guides your steps, and the unseen help that comes when you need it most. Many chase after wealth believing it lies in long hours or louder effort. But the truth is gentler. Real sustenance is written in moments of sincerity. When you turn your face to the sky at Fajr and ask, not from the world, but from the one who owns it. When you wake before dawn, you walk into a time filled with mercy. The angels descend carrying the prayers of those who rise early, and every whisper made in that stillness reaches the gates of heaven. The rizq that flows from such moments cannot be measured in numbers. It shows up as calmness in hardship, as ease in your work, as contentment that no amount of money could buy. Allah gives to those who remember Him when others forget. The one who begins the day with prayer starts from a place of barakah. Their steps feel guided, their tasks seem lighter, and even their mistakes turn into lessons. Sometimes Allah expands your sustenance not by adding more to your hands, but by placing satisfaction in your heart. He widens your world without changing your means. And that is a form of richness no treasure can match. There is a deep link between Fajr and provision that most people overlook. When you sacrifice sleep for Salah, you show trust in the provider rather than in your own plans. You leave your rizq in His hands, and He responds by sending blessings into your work, your health, and your home. Every small act of obedience at dawn becomes a seed planted in unseen soil, and throughout the day, its fruits quietly unfold. So, when you rise tomorrow and fight the heaviness of sleep, remember this. The world thinks you are simply waking up, but the heavens know you are collecting your portion. The light of Fajr does more than brighten the sky. It opens doors you didn't know were closed. Your Rizq is written, but the one who wakes before the world finds it wrapped in barakah, flowing not only to the hands but to the soul. Before the world awakens, there is a stillness that carries healing. It is a silence unlike any other, one that feels almost alive. The sky is dim, the air cool, and the heart, if it listens, can hear something it misses during the rush of daylight. It is in this hour that the soul begins to breathe again, relieved from the noise, from the endless pull of the world. When you rise at Fajr, you enter a space untouched by chaos, a moment where the heart can finally speak and be heard. In that stillness, you begin to feel how close Allah truly is. Every whisper of remembrance feels heavier, more real. You realize that peace was never far. It was only buried under the noise of constant doing and endless wanting. When you sit quietly after prayer, with nothing but the sound of your breath and the fading stars, something in you softens. The walls you built around your heart begin to fall, and what's left is something pure, something alive. The silence before sunrise carries a wisdom of its own. It teaches you that not every wound needs words, not every pain needs noise. Some things are healed simply by sitting with Allah in quiet awareness. When you allow yourself to be still, to just exist in His presence without distraction, the heart begins to settle. The worries that once screamed inside you lose their strength. That is how Fajr repairs what life has broken. Gently, silently, as the first light starts to stretch across the sky, you begin to feel the shift. The heaviness that sat on your chest slowly lifts, and your soul feels lighter. You begin to understand that this stillness was never emptiness. It was a conversation. It was Allah answering your tiredness, your questions, your fears, without a single word spoken. The peace that follows is not temporary. It's the kind that lingers quietly in the corners of your heart. And when the world finally wakes and the noise returns, you move differently. You carry a calm that others notice but cannot name. You've been to a place they haven't, a place between night and light, where healing begins and faith deepens. That stillness before dawn wasn't just silence. It was mercy, waiting patiently for you to wake up and receive it. When you begin your day with Fajr, it feels as if you've placed a shield around your heart. The prayer guards your soul before the world has a chance to touch it. It's not only an act of worship, but a quiet protection that follows you throughout the day. The moment you bow before Allah at dawn, you invite peace to walk beside you. It is as if every worry, every fear, and every unseen trial must first pass through that light before reaching you. That is the unseen protection of Fajr. Life will always bring moments that test you. There will be people who misunderstand you, plans that fall apart, and situations that weigh on your chest. But the one who begins the day with Fajr moves through it differently. The heart feels anchored even in chaos. It's not that the pain disappears, it's that you no longer face it alone. You feel a calm strength that others can't explain, because your peace was not borrowed from this world, it came from the one who created it. The prayer at dawn sets the rhythm for the rest of your day. If you start with Allah, everything else aligns around that beginning. Decisions feel clearer, distractions feel weaker, and your time feels blessed. Even when things don't go your way, you notice small mercies unfolding, doors opening, burdens lightening, paths appearing where there were none. That is the silent promise of Fajr when you give the first minutes of your day to Allah. He gives barakah to all the minutes that follow. There's a reason it's called light. Fajr doesn't only brighten the sky, it brightens the heart. When you stand in prayer while the world still sleeps, it feels like you're wrapped in divine attention. You remember that you are seen, guided, and loved, even when life feels uncertain. That realization guards you more powerfully than anything else. It changes the way you react, the way you speak, and the way you carry yourself. And as the day unfolds, you start to notice the difference. Challenges still come, but they don't shake you like before. The same problems that once overwhelmed you now feel smaller in the presence of that morning peace. You walk through your hours with quiet faith, knowing that the one who watched over you at Fajr will watch over you until night. That is how Fajr guards the day. It doesn't remove the storms. It teaches your heart how to stand in the rain without fear. Every morning, the world witnesses a quiet miracle. The darkness slowly giving way to light. It happens so gently that we often forget what it means. Each sunrise is a reminder that no night lasts forever, that no hardship remains without end. When you rise for Fajr, you take part in that same miracle. You stand in the last moments of the night, facing the first whispers of dawn, and it's as if your soul is being reborn with the light. Allah shows you through the sky what He can do within your heart. He can replace your darkness with something brighter. The night often carries pain, worries, and the weight of thoughts that won't rest. It is in those quiet hours that people cry unseen tears and wrestle with fears they can't name. But when the call to Fajr breaks the silence, it brings more than sound. It brings hope. It's a call to rise, not just from sleep, but from sorrow. To remind yourself that no matter how long your night has felt, Allah's mercy still rises with the sun. As you pray in that half light, you begin to feel the meaning of surrender. The world is still wrapped in shadow, but your heart starts to glow. You realize that light doesn't need to flood in all at once. It starts small in sujood, in whispers of gratitude, in tears that fall not from pain but from peace. Every Fajr is a conversation between the human soul and the creator of light. A reminder that even the smallest spark can guide you through the darkest times. When the sun finally rises, it paints the sky with colors that were hidden all night. It's as if Allah is showing you that beauty was always there. It just needed light to reveal it. The same is true for your heart. Fajr doesn't just mark the end of darkness outside. It ends the darkness within. Each new dawn gives you another chance to begin again, to leave behind what hurt you, and to walk forward with faith instead of fear. And so, every morning becomes more than a routine. It becomes a renewal. You no longer wake up just to live another day. You wake to witness His mercy unfold once more. The light that fills the horizon is a reflection of the light He places in your soul when you choose Him over sleep. When you rise despite exhaustion, when you believe that hope is stronger than despair, that is the lesson of every dawn. That the light of Fajr isn't just in the sky, it's in you. Every time you fight the pull of sleep to rise for Fajr, you are waging a silent battle that no one else sees. The room is dark, the bed is warm, and your body pleads for more rest. But the moment you choose to rise, something in the unseen world shifts. Angels witness your struggle and record your effort, not your perfection. That single act, lifting yourself from comfort for the sake of Allah, is a quiet form of victory. It is not loud, not seen by others, but it is deeply honored by the one who knows the weight of every step you take toward Him. The world may see sleep as rest, but the believer knows that true rest is found in sujood, when your forehead touches the ground while others are lost in dreams. You are given a peace they can't imagine. It is not about how long you pray or how perfect your words sound. It is about sincerity. Each second of that prayer carries the fragrance of sacrifice, the kind of effort that softens hearts and strengthens faith. In the silence before dawn, Allah sees you choosing Him over ease, and He rewards that in ways you may never even notice. Sometimes the reward comes as barakah that fills your day, Tasks become easier, your heart feels calmer, and your mind sharper. You find yourself protected from things that could have gone wrong, guided away from harm you didn't see coming. That's the unseen outcome of choosing Allah first. The fatigue you feel after Fajr fades quickly, but the blessings that come from that prayer echo through your hours. The morning becomes your ally, and the angels that witnessed your obedience carry your name among those who were awake for love, not habit. There are moments when the struggle feels heavier, when your eyes burn and your body feels heavy as stone. But even then, every time you push through, you are being trained for more than prayer. You are learning discipline, humility, and devotion. You are teaching your heart that it belongs to something higher than comfort. And over time, what once felt like a burden becomes a source of sweetness. You begin to long for those moments of stillness when it's just you and the Creator of the night. And on the days you fail to rise, don't let guilt consume you. Let it remind you instead of the beauty of what you're missing. For every step you take toward Fajr, Allah runs toward you with mercy. He loves those who try, who struggle, who fall and rise again. The reward of resisting sleep is not just in the blessings you gain. It's in the transformation of your soul. You become someone who chooses faith when no one is watching. Someone whose heart wakes even before the body does. That is the true victory of Fajr. When you remain awake after Fajr, your soul enters a space that most people never reach. The world is still, the air is soft, and the quiet holds a weight that cannot be felt during the chaos of the day. In these moments, your heart begins to hear what it has long ignored. The whispers of hope, the nudges of purpose, and the gentle reminders of Allah's mercy. Staying awake after the dawn prayer is not just about resisting sleep. It is about allowing your soul to fully wake, to feel alive in a way that routine rarely permits. The time after Fajr carries a clarity unlike any other. Your thoughts are unclouded, your mind is open, and the heart is more receptive to reflection and gratitude. It is in these early hours that you can truly connect with your intentions. Review your life in sincerity and align your actions with your values. The world is still dreaming, but you are wide awake, walking in a dimension where barakah flows quietly into every aspect of your life. Remaining awake after Fajr transforms your perspective on the day ahead. Challenges that once seemed overwhelming feel manageable, and moments of frustration lose their weight. You carry a subtle strength that comes from knowing you have already met with Allah before the world demanded your attention. That strength colors your decisions, softens your interactions, and guides your steps in ways that go unnoticed but are deeply powerful. There is also a spiritual nourishment in those hours that no food or drink can provide. Your soul receives what the body cannot measure. The contentment of remembrance, the peace of stillness, and the subtle awakening of hope. Each breath you take in that sacred silence becomes a seed planted in the heart, one that will grow quietly, producing patience, gratitude, and resilience as the day unfolds. And as the sun rises and the world begins to stir, you carry with you the quiet light of the early hours. Others are waking into routine, but you awaken into purpose. The soul that does not sleep after Fajr has already tasted mercy, clarity, and connection. It begins the day rooted in faith, guided by reflection, and protected by the unseen blessings that only those who rise early and stay awake can truly experience. So tomorrow, when the alarm rings, remember this: you're not just waking up, you're answering a call from heaven. Fajr isn't the start of your day, it's the start of your destiny.